Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back to Offset Conversations. And this is a pain in the ass driveway to get out from, but we did it. So today's topic, sports. We're gonna do NFL today. So obviously we have to state the obvious. Fuck the Patriots and the Cowboys. Like, there's no doubt about that, right? And if you're offended by it, yeah, I don't care. Just don't like those two teams. Why? Cowboys, because they spend so much money and they still don't win. So they're the team that always just spends and spends and spends. I just don't like they're a business, so they're, I guess, doing things right, but I just don't like their style of doing that. I don't like the owner. I don't like the fact that they're always giving these individuals with so many different prior records money and contracts just so they can play for them. The Patriots, for obvious reasons, they win. I gotta admit it. They cheat. So obviously, you guys know I'm a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. Not saying that the Chiefs are not a team that are gonna pay somebody or give massive contracts. Pat Mahomes is about to break the record, but I just been watching the team for such a long time, and I really just enjoy their whole, I guess, system, the way they go about picking up players, the coaches, with Andy Reid being in the team for a while now. He's been able to pick up a few players, and so yeah, that pretty much Patriots, Cowboys, can't stand those two teams. Their franchise and just whatever. Anyways, so let's get into it. What do I think about the AFC West this upcoming year? Man, it's gonna be crazy. And the reason why is we obviously have the best quarterback in the division. There's no doubt. As much as I like Phillip Rivers, I think the Chargers should have walked away from him like 6 years ago. And so now that they released him and the Colts picked up the nightmare, I don't know why would franchises do that? But anyways, I think that the Chargers, they need a Lamar Jackson type of dude. I don't know why. I just see their offense. Their defense is really, really underrated. I feel like their offense would benefit so much just from having a player that can be mobile. Just because I feel like when Melvin Gordon went out, the running back squad in general really, really stepped it up. And so their wide receiver core is really good. They have good hands. I mean, Keenan Allen's been putting in work for years. He reminds me of a Sammy Watkins, with a better quarterback, obviously. Sammy Watkins, when he was in Buffalo, he just, we knew his name, and he had shitty quarterbacks, but the guy's good, type of guy. Like, he's not amazing, but the guy is good. That's the way I would put it. Like I said, the running back stepped up. The defense is pretty good. I feel like if the Chargers pick up a quarterback who's mobile, it's gonna really light up the entire offense. That team may do something. I think. Again, as long as our offense stays healthy, I don't see anybody beating us, because that's what happened last year. Our defense was still not the best, and our offense, if they can keep scoring points, we become that Steelers type of playing style where we can afford to play one-on-one, play very aggressive, make a couple mistakes on defense, offense comes back and bail us out, and we can score in 2 minutes. We never had that before, up to like the last 2 years with Pat. So if the Chargers can now step up their offense, because their defense is really good, I really think they're super good and they're underrated, then I feel like they can have a big, massive impact on the AFC West. Now, when it comes to the Raiders are just a hot mess. They've always had such a big cap space. I don't understand why they go and pick up older players, or they just pick up players that may not be the best fit. Two, their managers are just horrible. I don't understand why they go and they hire this coach. They give him this massive contract for somebody who has been out of the game for a while, and it's almost like thinking that if a once great coach, and he wasn't in the league for that many years coaching, just he won a Super Bowl, but you don't think that he's been sitting, that the game has changed. The game is not the same when he played it and when he coached. And so to give this massive amount of contract money is just ridiculous. It reminds me of the Texans when they got Brock Osweiler. It's like the dude barely did anything in the Broncos, and then you go give him this massive contract. But I guess they have a lot of money to throw and lack of options, which to me I still find pretty crazy. I mean, there's so many talented players out there. And the XFL is, clearly showing that there's a lot of players out there that may never got the exposure, and maybe is politics and money involved, and that's the reason why we never get to see these players shine. But the XFL just, lit up a few players that now are getting contracts by the NFL. But anyways, so Raiders, I feel like they were in such a good path. And then Jay Gruden came around. Yeah, let's get rid of our best defensive player that we've had in many, many, many years. Yes, I get it. They got a lot of traits from, and sometimes we think that we can just pick up another Khalil Mack. Well, then you realize that no, you can't just go and pick up another Khalil Mack, and that's a problem. Then we get rid of some other defensive players. Then we're starting having issues with our quarterback. Now, Derek Carr to me has been a very solid player. A lot of people I'm not saying that he's elite or franchise. No, I feel like he had a lot of potential, a lot of talent, but the lack of protection in his line, yeah, you're gonna get banged up. Like, there's no other way I can explain it. And I feel like that's the problem with them. The Raiders should have done what the Cowboys did a long time ago, as much as I dislike them, which is draft linemen. Now you get to see the benefit of that. Ezekiel can literally just kind of jog and he'll get good protection. And so if the Raiders would have done that, they've always had some solid running backs. The problem is they get on McFadden and they run them, get banged up. That's it. Like, it's almost like they have no sense of like, hey, we shouldn't be using this player all the time because he's gonna get banged up. It reminds me of the way we were using Jamal Charles when Alex Smith was our quarterback, and they were using him. I want to say it was a 40 to 60% of the plays. It's insane if you really think about it. 40 to 60%, and that was good old Jamal Charles, just bubble screens and running, and it's crazy. You cannot use a player that much and expect for the player to be healthy in the long run, and for your team to honestly be successful. It just is not gonna. It's just not gonna work out. So, the Raiders, they're a hot mess. Now they moved to Las Vegas. I think they're just gonna have a nice stadium. I still don't think they're gonna win. I know that it's politics and business, but I do have to admit, I feel that the Raider fan base is the best fan base in the whole NFL. And yes, that's coming from me. It's just the way these just show up when they're 0-16. You would think they're winning the Super Bowl. Like, these people dress up, these people show up. I guess not enough, right? Because their team wasn't winning, so that's why they had to move. But I feel like the team overall, they have good fans. The ones, again, the Cowboys, they start winning, I see all these Cowboy fans, and then they start losing, they kind of disappear. It reminds me of the 49ers. 49ers, when Kaepernick went to the Super Bowl, it was like, whoa. Like, yeah, you've always been a Niner? Oh, that's weird. I never seen that. Yeah, bro, since I was a little kid. Oh, okay. And then I still don't see them anymore. But that's my thing with the Raiders. The Raiders, I feel like right now they're a hot mess. I feel they had a good thing going on with Khalil Mack as their general on the defensive side. They should have partnered up with a couple, young bucks. Maybe some huge contract would have been, some outside player that could have come and helped them out. Obviously, that's out of the table. He's moved on. He's kicked ass. The Raiders defense is a mess. I can't think of any player from the Raiders defense. I think their top rookie got injured, and it's not looking good for them. And they always had the money. They just suck at making good choices. With I don't know. Their picks are just whack. And once they find one good player, they run them until they get injured. Derek Carr, Crabtree. Oh, let me just get rid of Crabtree. It's like, dude, that was like the best combo you guys have had in the last 10 years, and you're really gonna get rid of them? Oh well. So just those little things and managing things that I feel like that's really what's causing the Raiders franchise just to kind of go downhill. I hope they turn around. I actually enjoy watching some of those games. I want to see the Chiefs and the Raiders have that battle that they had when I started watching the Chiefs back in 2002. I mean, they still had the rivalry, don't get me wrong, but it was a different one, man. You were really gonna go and banged up and play competitively. I mean, you don't need the freaking help like the last couple years ago when, for whatever reason, the Raiders had like 4 different plays on 4th down. I'm like, I don't know, man. It's just too much involvement with the refs. But anyways, all right. Which brings me to the Denver Donkeys. I like the Broncos. I don't know why. Something about the Broncos. They're cool. I don't mind them. Nah, I'm kidding. I just like the Broncos just because we have that rivalry. They're a very good team, especially when Manning was around. I did not think that guy was going to do as well as he did. Pretty crazy, not gonna lie. What can I say about the Broncos? They've always had such good running backs, and with Lindsey, it's no exception for the size. That guy's good. I feel like the Broncos are pretty good. They're pretty good offensively. They just need to pick up a good quarterback. I don't know who that's gonna be. Again, I feel like if they were to pick up, for them, I see them as, it's okay, a traditional quarterback. It doesn't have to be mobile. Obviously, you saw it with Manning, and Manning was older, but it was working. They have good protection. Their defense at one point was, super beast. It was just stacked. I think this year, Chris Harris leaving, other key people leaving, but I still feel like they have a strong defensive line. They're a good team. They're a good team that just needs that one piece to the puzzle, which is a quarterback, and they'll come back to their winning ways. Other than that, I don't see anybody really else challenging the Chiefs. I just don't see it. I feel like the Chiefs have everything on their side. There's no reason why we shouldn't have the AFC Championship winner division for the next at least 10 years. I don't see the AFC West as strong as it once was. I think it was really strong, when Alex Smith was there, when Derek Carr was on point, obviously when Manning was there, and Phillip Rivers doing his thing. And so I think that the Chiefs should have no issue making it to the playoffs as a any type of seed. They're just either number one or I don't see any other things that I can think of when it comes to the Chiefs and them not making it to the playoffs. But Super Bowl run, it should be. I think it's going to be interesting to see where the Chiefs land and the entire AFC now that the Brady bunch kind of are going their separate ways. I'm really hoping that Tom Brady can show what he is as a player, but I just don't think that the Bucs are going to be that one franchise for him. The same thing. I'm so glad that Bill Belichick hasn't said I'm going for retirement, because I really want to see what he can do without Hall of Famer quarterback. Again, the Patriots are that type of team that they can just take one player out and plug him in, and he does wonderful. Now let's see in the quarterback position if they can do that. So that's just kind of my thought on the AFC West and the AFC in general. I feel like the Steelers are they got to start picking up a new quarterback. Ben is done. Houston Texans. Oh, goodness. Let's just get rid of our best wide receiver. Let's get rid of some of our key defensive players. Yeah, they're doing wonderful things out there. ensuring that they're not gonna pretty much do anything for the next 5-10 years. So good job, guys. Completely disregarding the badass defense that they have. I mean, they're just as a franchise, how do you let that happen? Man, I don't. They have such a good quarterback and wide receiver combo starting to cook up, and then they go ahead and do that. Let me see what else. Who else can I think of that may have a potential impact on the AFC West? The Bengals. Andy's gone. That team, I don't know. On paper, it looks good, but then you just go out and perform, and it's like, oh, okay, you guys are the Bengals. I just remembered. The Bills. I guess the Bills were a team that, they're underdogs. They have a solid quarterback. Not really. I don't know. I feel bad about the Bills. They've always had a strong defensive core. And then they started just kind of disappearing little by little. And they just haven't recovered. But I was rooting for them when they were actually winning. So I guess I'm hoping that they can do something. But for me, it's beneficial. I can care less. The less they win, the better we have an opportunity to go and make it to the playoffs each year. So that's it. I can't think of anybody else in the AFC that I can be like, oh, the Ravens, I guess. I don't know what happened in the playoffs. So maybe it was just he was young and he just got nervous or something. But or defenses figure it out. Lamar Jackson, I don't know, but they were so beast. I was like, if we play them on the playoff run, it's done. And then the Titans, I still don't see the Titans as a team that, I don't even know how they made it that far. I guess, they were playing with passion, and that's what they wanted, to be underrated, and they legit just went and did the hard job for us. I still can, they beat the Patriots, they beat the Ravens, both at their home. I'm pissed if I'm a Titans fan. It's like, really, you beat those two teams and then you go and lose it? Like, might as well not make it to the playoffs to begin with. But anyways, I don't see any other team taking that crown from the Kansas City Chiefs in the upcoming years. Who do you go for in the AFC West? Or in the AFC in general? And by the way, shout out to the Saints, who are always getting robbed. I think out of the 3 times they got robbed, at least one of them they would have won the Super Bowl. But who do you think? We'll talk about the NFC later. Who do you think in the AFC can make that extra run? I don't see the Titans being out there as far as they did last year. I really don't. And maybe I'm just really, underestimating them, but I just don't see them going back there. I feel like they had their magical run, and then they're gonna go back into the little shell. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about the AFC, about football in general. Did your team make it? Do you think your team has a chance of making it in the future? I don't know. Let me know. For now, I appreciate you guys, your support. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day whenever you're watching this. And just keep grinding.